All right, so let's dive into a deep dive into something truly unique this time.
Okay.
You listeners have shared a radio drama script with us, and not just any script. This is the one that sparked the infamous War of the Worlds panic.
Wow.
So,
Hmm.
it's Halloween Eve, 1938,
Spooky.
and we're going to revisit a night that really changed broadcasting
Yeah, forever.
forever.
It's important, I think, to understand the context here.
Hmm.
Radio wasn't just entertainment back then.
Right.
It was the main source of news
Yeah.
and information for everyone.
For everything.
Everything. Think about that.
Yeah.
Your weather report's breaking news,
Right.
especially with,
Yeah.
the world on edge about rising tensions in Europe.
Yeah. So let's set the scene, okay?
Okay.
Families are all gathered around their radios on Halloween Eve,
Mm-hmm.
maybe carving pumpkins. Kids are running around in their costumes.
Yeah.
And the sounds of Ramon Ruccolo and his orchestra are filling the airwaves.
Aye.
Just a typical night, right?
Sounds like it.
But then
Oh.
it happens.
What happens?
A breaking news bulletin cuts in,
Oh, no.
interrupts the music, and there are reports of explosions observed on Mars.
Explosions on Mars.
Explosions on Mars, and not just any explosions.
Right.
The script describes them as incandescent gas.
Whoa.
It says hydrogen moving towards the Earth with enormous velocity,
Ooh.
as observed by Professor Farrell of the Mount Jennings Observatory.
Oh, my goodness.
So this isn't just a one-off bulletin.
Oh.
It keeps going.
Oh, no.
More bulletins come in confirming these explosions and even quoting a Professor Pearson,
Okay.
who describes the event as like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun.
That sounds serious.
So they try to go back to the music,
Right.
but that sense of unease, it's already kind of settled in.
I bet.
Yeah, and this is where the genius of the script, I think, really shines through.
Oh, okay. How so?
It uses that format of like live interviews,
Okay.
and it pulls the listener deeper and deeper into what's unfolding.
Oh, wow.
So Carl Phillips, he's a reporter at the Princeton Observatory, and he starts interviewing Professor Pearson.
Gotcha.
And his voice just has this sense of urgency in it that you can't ignore.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Initially, Pearson kind of dismisses the possibility of life on Mars. He's like this skeptical scientist.
Right.
But then there's another twist.
Okay, what's that?
A message comes in reporting a seismic shock near Princeton.
Whoa.
And so immediately you're like, could it be connected?
Right.
And Pearson suggests it could be a meteorite, but the seed of doubt is planted in the listeners' minds.
That's clever.
And you have to remember, people were already on edge about like a potential war in Europe.
Right.
And these mysterious events unfolding seemingly out of nowhere played directly into those fears.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like a masterful manipulation of the audience's anxieties.
Totally.
And then comes the moment that throws everything into chaos.
What's that?
The script announces that a huge flaming object has crashed into a farm near Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
What?
And Phillips is reporting live from the scene.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Describing all the pandemonium, the crowds gathering, and this object itself.
And what is it?
This massive metal cylinder.
The cylinder.
Half buried in the ground.
Wow.
And these meticulously crafted details,
Yeah.
from the farmer who witnessed the crash
Right.
to Phillips' increasingly frantic reports,
Uh-huh.
it blurs the line even further between fiction and reality.
Gosh.
You feel like you're right there experiencing it all with them.
I bet.
The script even describes this strange humming coming from inside the cylinder, and the top starts to unscrew,
Oh, my goodness.
and out comes something.
What is it?
Well, Phillips struggles to describe it.
Okay.
He uses words like tentacles, glistening body,
Yeah.
a V-shaped mouth with saliva dripping from his rimless lips.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It's like a scene straight out of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so the play really taps into that primal fear of the unknown.
Right.
This creature, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. And Phillips's terrified description just amplifies that feeling of dread.
Total.
And the script leaves you hanging, wondering what's going to happen next.
And then just as the suspense, reaches its peak,
yeah.
the transmission cuts out.
Oh, my gosh.
Silence. You're just left hanging.
Oh.
Your imagination just runs wild.
Oh, gosh.
With what might have happened to Phillips.
Right.
And the whole situation at Grover's Mill.
It's scary to think about.
Really masterful use of radio's limitations,
Yeah.
to heighten that
fear.
That dread. Yeah.
You can just feel the collective gasp of the nation holding its breath.
Right.
And when the broadcast resumes,
Oh.
it's with even more chilling news.
Oh, no.
Phillips is dead.
Oh, gosh.
Along with dozens of others.
No.
And their bodies are described as burned and distorted beyond all possible recognition.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. The Martian threat, it's no longer just a distant possibility.
Right.
It's real.
It's here.
It's deadly, and it's right here on American soil.
That's terrifying.
This bulletin takes the events from unsettling speculation to a terrifying reality.
Right.
And the script doesn't shy away from depicting the escalating chaos.
Oh, how so?
The governor declares martial law.
Whoa.
The militia is deployed.
Oh my gosh.
And Professor Pearson is now broadcasting from a farmhouse near Grover's Mill,
Okay.
just trying to make sense of what's unfolding.
I see.
But even in the face of unimaginable terror,
Yeah.
Pearson remains like a voice of reason.
Yeah.
His explanation of the Martian heat ray.
Okay.
It's speculative, but it adds a layer of scientific credibility to the broadcast, fueling the listener's need for information and understanding.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that radio was the sole source of information for a lot of people back then.
Totally.
Imagine listening to all this unfold on your radio.
Yeah.
Your only connection to the outside world.
Right.
No internet, no television, just these increasingly frantic voices.
Yeah.
Painting this picture of a nation under attack. No wonder panic started to spread.
The script meticulously blends real-world details with fantastical elements.
Right.
They mention real locations,
Okay.
like highways, and even specific types of military equipment,
Wow.
making the impossible seem even more believable.
Uh-huh.
And then the military engagement begins.
Okay.
We're taken to the front lines,
Oh, wow.
hearing artillery fire shouts of officers, the reports of observers.
Oh,
It's as if we're right there in the trenches,
yeah.
witnessing this desperate battle unfold.
And the play doesn't hold back in its depiction of the brutality of war.
Right.
These Martian tripods are described as just relentless,
Mhm.
and their heat rays just leave a path of destruction.
It's scary.
It doesn't shy away from those devastating consequences, leaving the listener with a growing sense of hopelessness.
We hear about the Army bombers attempting to take down the Martian machines,
No.
only to have their engines fail,
Oh, no.
setting them crashing in flames.
Oh,
The black smoke spreads, choking cities. Communication networks collapse,
oh my goodness.
and the Secretary of the Interior delivers this somber address to the nation.
Wow.
It's a masterclass in building tension and creating a sense of impending doom.
And the play forces the listener to confront their own vulnerability
Yes.
in the face of this overwhelming force.
Totally.
And just when you think it can't get any worse,
Right.
the Martians reach New York City.
Oh, no.
Panicked voices of radio operators fill the airwaves. Desperate pleas for help, the sound of bells ringing,
Yeah.
warning people to evacuate.
It's chaos.
Yeah, the chaos and terror of a city under siege are brought to life through these chilling audio cues.
The script paints this vivid picture of the Martian tripods waiting across the Hudson,
Uh-huh.
their heat rays cutting through the cityscape,
Oh my goodness.
leaving destruction in their wake.
Wow.
And then silence. The
Silent.
broadcast ends abruptly,
Oh my God.
leaving the listener to imagine the horrors unfolding in the darkness. It's just a truly powerful ending, you know? Leaving the listener suspended in that moment of terror and uncertainty.
Right.
But the story doesn't end there.
Okay.
The script shifts gears a little bit,
Oh, really?
taking us out of that immediacy of the live broadcast and into the aftermath of the invasion.
Okay.
And Professor Pearson becomes our narrator,
I see.
offering a glimpse into this world forever changed by what's happened.
And that shift in perspective
Yeah.
is really clever.
Yeah.
Going from that, heart-pounding chaos
Right.
to Pearson's introspective journal entries.
Yes.
Provides a stark contrast and allows the script to explore some deeper themes.
Exactly. And so Pearson, he's struggling to survive in this desolate post-invasion world.
Yeah.
Scavenging for food, constantly looking over his shoulder, haunted by the memory of the Martian threat.
Yeah.
And it paints this bleak picture of loneliness and despair.
Yeah, I can imagine. And his encounters with other survivors
Yeah.
offer a fascinating glimpse into the ways humans react to these events.
Yeah, it's true.
He meets an artilleryman driven to the brink of madness, just utterly convinced that humanity is doomed.
Right.
But then he encounters another survivor,
Yeah.
a man with a plan,
Okay.
offering a glimmer of hope in this, shattered world.
And this man with a plan
Yeah.
represents a different kind of human response to crisis.
How so?
He doesn't succumb to despair.
Okay.
He sees it as an opportunity for adaptation.
Interesting.
to learn from the Martians and maybe even turn their technology against them.
That's a fascinating concept,
Yeah,
even in the face of annihilation.
right.
That human drive to innovate and overcome persists.
But Pearson ultimately rejects this plan.
Really?
He sees it as too violent,
Oh,
too focused on power and domination.
right.
He chooses to continue wandering, observing, recording,
Yeah.
hoping to find meaning in the chaos.
Wow. So Pearson's journey becomes a metaphor
Yeah.
for the human search for understanding.
Yeah,
Even when confronted with extinction, he clings to his scientific curiosity.
absolutely. And then the script throws us another curveball,
Uh-oh, what's that?
a twist ending that no one could have predicted.
Okay.
So Pearson reaches New York City,
Yeah.
expecting to find utter devastation.
Right.
But instead,
Yeah.
he discovers that the Martians are dead,
What?
killed by something so unexpected.
What's that?
Bacteria. The
Bacteria.
tiniest of Earth's creatures brought down these seemingly invincible invaders.
Wow, what a
It's a
twist.
brilliant, ironic twist that highlights the hubris of the Martian invasion.
Totally. And it's a powerful reminder that
Yeah.
even in our darkest moments,
Yeah,
there's always hope, always the possibility of unexpected salvation.
it's true.
It leaves you with the sense of awe and wonder
Yeah,
about this vast and complex universe that we inhabit.
it really does. And The War of the Worlds is more than just a thrilling science fiction tale.
Right.
It's a cautionary tale about the power of media,
Yeah.
the importance of critical thinking, and the indomitable spirit of humanity.
It challenges us to confront our fears and examine our beliefs.
And consider our place in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's a story that continues to resonate almost a century later,
Right.
reminding us that even in a world saturated with information,
Mm-hmm.
that line between fact and fiction can become blurred.
Yeah. So the next time you hear a news bulletin
Yes.
or encounter a story that seems too incredible to be true,
Mhm.
remember the War of the Worlds.
Take a moment to reflect.
Analyze the information.
Don't be afraid to question what you hear.
Knowledge and a healthy dose of skepticism
Yeah,
are our most powerful weapons against fear and misinformation.
that's right.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep
Yeah.
questioning, and keep diving deep.